you've watched any of my previous videos before. My name is Brittany and I use this channel to share a little bit of everything. Some beauty content, or some travel content, some daily vlogs, and a little bit of everything in between. Today's video is a little bit more in the beauty realm and I'm gonna walk through my like no foundation makeup routine. My makeup routine with no foundation, I guess, however you want to say it. This is pretty much my day-to-day makeup routine and like how I get ready for the day, like working from home or even just like going out to run errands or something. I mean, a lot of the time I just go out with no makeup on, but I mean, pre-pandemic, honestly, I was one of those people who like I always wore foundation like every day. Like I basically had like a little bit of a soft to medium beat on my face pretty much every day, like going to work and stuff like that. And then just like slowing down a lot and working from home, I stopped wearing as much makeup in general like during the week, and then really like no foundation at all because I was just like sitting at my desk at home every day. And so I will say I feel like through that I learned like, oh, I don't necessarily need as much foundation or just like as much coverage, and I feel like my skin got to be like a lot better too. I have purchased a foundation, like I bought a new foundation last summer. I bought like the Ilia like serum foundation, which I liked, but I've honestly only used it twice in like 8 months or so. I will say though, I do use a skin tint here and there too, and that's more of like my go-to for coverage rather than a foundation. So, but I feel like in a lot of these videos where people share their like no foundation or like no makeup routines, I don't feel like they always mention like the actual real first step, and that is the morning skincare routine. Because if you're gonna serve skin in your makeup look, you really gotta set your skin up for success. So I've already done my morning skincare routine, but I'll quickly just like run through it because I really do think this is a make or break in like getting your skin set for the day and like this kind of a light coverage makeup routine. So most days I do a double cleanse. I usually just start with this micellar water. I just use the Sephora collection one. I really like it. I've used a few other ones before, but I like this one the most. And then my like everyday cleanser, the Summer Fridays, what is this called? Super Amino Gel Cleanser. It's just like a very gentle light cleanser, but I feel like it does really get all the like dirt and gunk out of my face. If I'm really good at doing my nighttime skincare routine, which I haven't been lately, I don't always like use both of these. I'll just use like a gentle cleanser like this, especially if I didn't like sweat or anything overnight, because I don't want to dry my face out too much. But 9 out of 10 times I do a double cleanse in the morning, and then I'll go in with a toner. And this is the Ultra Glow toner from Sephora collection. I really like this one too. I mean, I've used a lot of different toners. Some of them I feel like didn't really do anything, and they were expensive. This one's like $12 or $15, I want to say, maybe even $10, and I really like it. I feel like it does like brighten up and like cleanse out my face. So I always use a toner next, and then I start with some serums, like mostly just like vitamin C or brightening serums. Typically I use the Summer Fridays CC Me serum, but I ran out of that a few months ago and I just haven't bought a replacement because I'm really trying to be I've said this in a couple of videos before, like just be a little bit better about using what I have and not just like rebuying something because I feel the need to. So I had this Sephora collection, what is this called? The Ultra Glow Serum, which is a vitamin C serum. I had this already under my sink, so I was like, oh, I'll just use this until I run out of it and then I'll rebuy the Summer Fridays vitamin C serum. But honestly, I'm not in love with this and I can't wait to finish this bottle to like rebuy the Summer Fridays one. I also just started using this topical, the Topicals Faded serum. So it's a brightening and clearing serum, or cleaning serum. Oh no, brightening and clearing serum. And I've only been using this 1 day a week because that's how you're supposed to start out with it. I think I've just used it twice so far. But like kind of these together essentially do, I think, what the CC Me serum from Summer Fridays does. But I've been using this because I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation, like you can see like here and a couple spots on my forehead from where I've had like some breakouts, and it's just like winter time, so my skin's not as like vibrant and bright as it usually is. But so I use these, one or both of these, as like my next step in terms of serums and under eye cream. And I just use the Summer Fridays, what is this one called, the Light Aura Vitamin C and Peptide Eye Cream. And also I will note, I try to let these each like seep in before kind of like moving on to the next step. So like sometimes in between I'll like brush my teeth or do something else, like let the next layer dry. And then lastly, I use the Summer Fridays Cloud Dew Oil-Free Gel Cream as a moisturizer. And then obviously last but not least, a little bit of SPF. So this is the K-Skin Isle Glow Face Lotion, SPF 45. So I put this on at the very end. And then finally, it's time to start my makeup routine. So again, I'll say, I feel like people don't mention that when they go into like, oh, this is my no makeup routine. that's great, but like you have to start off with a good base first, or else you're not gonna set yourself up for success. All right, so now let's get into the makeup routine, and I will link all of these products in the description below. And most of these are, yeah, I feel like these are things I use like all the time, with the exception of maybe one thing. We'll see. All right, so first things first, I usually start with a primer of some sort. Today I'm gonna use the Milk Hydro Ultra. What is this called? Why don't I know the names of any of my products? Why do I keep saying what is this called? The Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So this is like a gel-based primer, I believe. Yeah, and since I'm not putting any foundation on, I didn't want to put on, I have other primers that are like, yeah, see this just like kind of glides right on and you can barely see it. I do have other primers, or another primer that is a little bit more opaque, is that the word, where it leaves like a little bit of a cast, which it probably does grip maybe a little better, but it gets covered up with my foundation. But this is just like a good way to start this look. So I start with that. Next, what I do is just color correct, really just my under eyes. So you can see I have fairly dark circles under my eyes. So I just want to brighten those up like a little bit. And so this is the Bobbi Brown under eye color corrector in the color Deep Bisque. This is a crowd pleaser. By crowd, I mean me. So this is like a staple. I use this pretty much every day. Sometimes I will use this without putting on concealer, especially if I'm just gonna like put my glasses on and like be sitting behind my computer. But I am gonna put a little bit of this kind of just like in this area right under here, just to like brighten up my under eye a little bit and just kind of like buff it out. So you can tell a little bit of a difference, but nothing too crazy. All right, so I'm gonna do the other side. That stuff is done, and I try not to use too much of this because I'm getting a little bit older, as like we all are, which is a part of nature, and I feel like I'm getting teeny tiny fine lines like right underneath my eye. I mean, they're probably there for everyone, but your skin gets more sensitive as you get older, obviously, so I don't want to put too much product on to like cake into that and fill in and make them more obvious. So try to just put a little bit, and besides a little bit goes a long way. So next I'm going to apply some concealer. So this is my favorite concealer for the moment, and by the moment I mean probably for the past year. So this is the Kosas. Again, why don't I know the names of any of my products? Just the Kosas concealer is what I think it's called, like Brightening, Hydrating something concealer. But I really like this. Before, I had been like a loyalist to the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, which I did love for a while, but then it kind of got a little bit too drying for me. Like I said, I feel like, especially as you get older or as you age, your skin ages too, and I feel like my under eyes were just getting a little too dry, and that was drying out my under eyes even more and almost making me look more tired. So I do like the brightening and hydrating effect of this. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit under my eye, like here, and then here. It's actually feels like a little bit too much, so we'll see what happens. And then the same on the other side, and then a little bit just like around my mouth here, basically just anywhere that I want to brighten up a little bit, and then a little bit, should have done some dots, but oh well, a little bit down the bridge of my nose too. So I'm gonna let that kind of like sit, like set and oxidize, and in the meantime I'm going to fill in my brows. So again, another Kosas product that I love. This is the Kosas Brow Pop Eyebrow Pencil, and I've always been pretty fickle about eyebrow pencils. Like, to me, honestly, they were like a dime a dozen. I never found anything that I loved, and so for a while I was just using the e.l.f. one from Target or wherever you can buy e.l.f. products. It's $2 because I was like, why would I spend $20 on something that's mediocre when this one is $2 and does the same thing? But then I found this brow pencil and I am obsessed. I don't know, I don't even know, can't put my finger on what is so great about it. I think it's just like the way that it fills. It also lasts a long time, so I feel like brow pencils tend to run out pretty fast. This lasts, I want to say, like 3 or 4 months, and using it every day, and it's pretty moderately priced. I have this in the color Black Brown, so I'm going to fill in my brows on both sides, and then also add a little bit of brow gel. This is a Kosas brow gel as well, also in the color Black Brown, or Brown Black, excuse me. So I'll fill in my brows a little bit with the brow pencil, and then add a little bit more texture to them with the brow gel. So I'll do that now. forgot to put a little concealer on this dark spot that I have right here, so I'm just gonna add that in right now. They don't usually have that there, so I kind of forgot about it. But okay, so moving on to the next step. I try to keep this routine as like concise as can be because I don't want to be spending like an hour on my makeup every day. So anyway, what I'm gonna do now is blend in all of this concealer that I added to my face. And I will say blending is very key in like a no foundation makeup look because you don't really have, I mean, it's just literally blending into your skin, like you're not adding any additional products or anything. So blending is key. So I'm gonna use this Rare Beauty concealer brush, which I really love this brush. It's like a little bit of an angle. It's good for buffing. And then I might, depending on how well that all blends in, I might just take my Rare Beauty foundation brush and buff out any like edges that aren't blending in to my skin well. But I'm gonna take a few minutes to get started doing that. And you can see how that just literally, the color match is so great because it just disappears into my skin. Like I said, I'm obsessed with the concealer. Okay, another thing I just realized I forgot. So I'm not as good as running through this routine and like walking through it as just like doing it on my own. But I also usually add a little bit of concealer right here just to like brighten up this area. So I'll do that last. Hopefully it'll have like a few minutes to set in. So all of that is blended in. It's like setting in pretty well. Like I mentioned, I feel like I put a little bit too much under my eye, but I think it'll be fine at the end of the day. So, okay. So next step is I'm just gonna set that concealer with some setting powder. Also, I feel like I say this in every video, but I just want to remind everyone, I'm not a makeup artist. So this is how like I do my makeup and it works well for me. And just like tips I've learned from watching other tutorials and stuff and incorporated them in and just like trying different things out in my like, what, probably almost like 18 years of wearing makeup. But what I'm gonna do next is apply some setting powder. So this setting powder I've been using is from Saie, I'm not 100% sure, but this is the Airset Radiant Loose Setting Powder in Translucent Deep, which is the deepest color that it comes in. Oh, and I forgot to mention the Kosas concealer. My shade is 8.7 in, but like I said, this is Translucent Deep, deepest color that it comes in. It is a pretty good setting powder. I like it. I don't know if I like love it. I think when this runs out, I'm gonna try a different one just because I like to try different things. I want to try the Amicole one, I think, but this is like working pretty well like for the time being. I'm gonna try not to apply too much of it. So I'm gonna use this Sephora collection or Sephora Pro collection powder brush. This is the number 59 brush to just apply like a little closer under my eyes, like to where I just applied that concealer. And I'm gonna use this fluffier e.l.f. brush. This is just the total face brush from e.l.f. I actually really like the e.l.f. brushes. They're not very expensive. Some of them have fallen apart, I'll be honest. But this one, I think it was maybe like $5 and has been holding me true for a few years. So I'm gonna use this to kind of apply in some of those more all over places. So that is set pretty well. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is apply just a little bit of contour to kind of just like shape my face a little bit more, like softly sculpt it. But since I don't have foundation on, I don't want to apply too much because again, it's just gonna like blend into my skin. So what I use as a contour right now is the Merit, what is this called again? Why don't I know the names of any of my products? But this is the Perfect Complexion Stick in the color Umber. So it's pretty dark. I really like this. Like you can use these complexion sticks like an all over color. I've seen people use them as concealer. I've just been using this as a contour because I used to use a Fenty, one of the Fenty complexion sticks as a contour, and then I ran out of that and I saw these and I was like, oh, same thing kind of. So I'm gonna use this And I'm going to apply it with this Sephora Pro Collection contour brush number 78, but I'm not going to apply this straight onto my face. Like I said, I don't want to apply too much of it, so I'm just going to get some of the product onto my brush from the stick and then kind of softly sculpt that onto my face and try not to get too much. I can be a little heavy-handed sometimes, so I just want to like very lightly apply this. Like I'm going to do it just a little bit under my chin and then a little bit right here from my temple going down to my cheek, and then just kind of on my forehead just to add a little bit of dimension, and like I said, softly sculpt my face. Again, who do I think I am? A makeup artist? I did apply that contour, and I did apply just a little bit also to like the sides of my nose, and just to add a little bit of contour to that area as well. Oh yeah, those are literally just shadows. I thought I like overdid it. Next, I'm gonna apply just a little bit of bronzer just to warm my face up a little bit. This is one of my like all-time favorite bronzers from LYS Beauty. This is the No Limits Matte Bronzer in the color Strength. I think this is the darkest color that they have. This is a Black On Beauty brand, and I talked about it in my Black On Brands video, but I really love this bronzer. I feel like it's hard if you have like any kind of melanin in your skin, but especially the darker that your skin is, to find a bronzer that like actually does what it's supposed to do and doesn't make you just look like gray or even darker, or like sometimes they like don't deliver. So this one I really love. So I'm gonna use my Sephora Pro Collection bronzer brush number 80 to just apply this like to places where I want to like bring some warmth into my face, and that's actually gonna be it. I don't want to like overdo it, like I said. So next, what I'm gonna do is just apply a little bit of blush. I love this Merit cream blush. So this is in the color Mood. It's a pretty dark like raspberry color, but I really like it as like an everyday bronzer. So again, I don't want to apply this like straight onto my face, so I'm gonna use this like stipple brush. I think this is another e.l.f. Yeah, it is an e.l.f. stipple brush. And I'm gonna just like pick up some product from the cream blush itself and just kind of like softly blend it into my cheek just to add a little bit of color and like not overdo it. Okay, I like overdid it a little bit right there, but we'll blend. And then a little bit like on my nose too. Okay, I'm gonna blend that out just a little bit. That's not too bad. Maybe I'll apply a little bit more to even it out. Okay, so then last, that's a lie, close to last, I am gonna apply a little bit of highlighter today, just because like why not? I'm doing this video, so like why not like go all out. So this is another LYS Beauty product. This is in the color Fearless Warm Bronze. So this is, I think this is a Sephora collection brush. It's so old. It is Sephora. I was gonna say I can barely even see where it's from. It was from like a magnetic brush set. As you can tell, I like buy whatever kind of brushes I like and just keep them until they fall apart. So I'm gonna just apply a little bit of blush, or sorry, this is highlighter, a little bit of highlighter like to some of these high points on my face, just to add a little bit of sparkle or whatever, highlight. Okay, so I'm close to the end. I think I am gonna do some eyeshadow today. Most of the time when I do like this kind of a makeup look, I'll just use my bronzer as an eyeshadow, but I am gonna do some eyeshadow. So I'm gonna use this, it's from the Gwen Stefani line, an eyeshadow quad. This is Just a Girl. So I'm using just this like soft brush. I think this is from, yeah, this is from like a Morphe brush collection. And I'm gonna use this dark brown and then a little bit of this like rusty color, just to kind of apply all over on my lids. And I'm gonna do that on both lids. All right, and then I am gonna also apply a little bit of this gold, this teeny tiny precision brush, just like to the insides of like what is this called? Your like waterline. Again, do I really know what I'm talking about? No, I actually kind of do. But all right, so that is eyeshadow. I'm gonna also put in or add in a little bit of eyeliner. So this is from Sephora collection. This is, I think this is a gel liner. So it's the retractable eyeliner. It's waterproof. This is just in the color brown. It does glide on very, very smooth. Looks like this. So I'm gonna apply this underneath my eyelids, just like kind of right there on like my waterline, and then blend it in, like smudge it in a little bit with this, just to like add a little bit of drama to the eye. Not much though. So I'm gonna apply that now. All right, you can't really, I mean, it isn't much, but it does add a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of drama, a little bit of dimension to the eyelid. And so lips are gonna be the last part of this look. So I'm gonna just use this lip liner. This is the Kosas Hot Liner. This unfortunately is discontinued, so if you don't already have it, sorry. But this is a really great lip liner. I've used a lot of lip liners and I feel like I've never found one that I liked as much as this. It's just like glides on so smoothly. The color is really good too. Like it's basically a nude, which is for like anyone that is darker, but I have also darker lips. It's hard to find like a good nude that blends in and isn't too drying. So this is in the color Supreme. If you can find this in the black market somewhere, would definitely snag it, but maybe they'll like re-release it. So Kosas, like let us know, because I love this lip liner. But I'm gonna just apply it kind of obviously on the lines of my lip, but I'm not gonna apply too much of it, and then I will blend it in a little bit, and then I'm going to top it off with this Tower 28. This is a lip jelly, basically a lip gloss, and this is in the color Coconut. So it's like kind of like a light pink. So I'll do those two steps right now. So last, and I swear this time this really is the last step. Lastly, I am just going to add, or I'm just going to apply some mascara. So this is one of my favorite mascaras in the moment. I'm not like a loyal mascara kind of person. Like I literally will just wear or buy whatever. There are some I don't like though, and this one I do like. So this is the Sephora collection Big by Definition mascara, and it does, so it says it's volumizing and lash multiplying. I do really think it does that. I've also been using a lash serum recently, the Grande MD one, and that actually has really been growing my lashes, but I think this helps add a little bit of volume too. So I kind of try to just like lightly apply it. I don't want my lashes to look like too clumpy, but I do want them to be like volumized. Yeah, volumized, full of volume. Alright, so I only apply mascara to my top lashes because I feel like I like rub my eyes too much and I don't want like my bottom lashes to get smudged. So, I mean, that's it. I don't think I missed anything. That's literally my whole no foundation makeup look. So I feel like I still have a decent amount of like some light coverage, but not quite like the heavy amount, not just quite like the added product of having some foundation on too. Like I still look like myself, but like a little bit more polished. And I mean, especially I feel like you know what they say, like the older that you get, the like more sensitive or thin your skin can get. And so I don't know, I like to learn ways to like apply makeup without adding too much makeup or keeping it on and having any fine lines that I may start to get appear even more like obviously like foundation and stuff like that can still be good for like photo shoots. What am I doing? Photo shoots, taking photos, like going to events and stuff like that. But it's also kind of nice to just like not have to worry about it. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please comment, subscribe if you want to see more content. And thanks for watching.